Welcome back. Thank you so much for being here. My name's Emma. I'll be guiding you through a Vinyasa class today. This is kind of something I would teach in my weekly classes in a studio. So something to get the energy flowing. We start off a little slower. We get things moving. Usually find some fun poses and transitions to tackle, and then we cool things down. Yeah, that's about it. I will jump right into it. Let's go ahead and get started on our backs. Any comfortable position on your back. Extend the legs. You could take bottoms of the feet together. You could bend the knees and let the knees fall towards each other for a little more support on your lumbar spine. If you need any adjustments right away to feel a little bit more comfy, go for it. Start to find a little length through your breath, a little depth. Allow the pressure of the mat underneath you to kind of soften your muscles. Feel yourself giving into this shape. Keep bringing your attention back to your breath. If it starts to wander, which it might, we're only human. Only keep your attention on one thing for so long. It's just the practice of bringing it back that we do. Mind wanders, bring it back. Mind wanders, bring it back. Easy way to do this is to focus on your breath. Notice where you feel your breath the most in your body. Really feel those sensations. Big full breath in, puff up your chest, diaphragm, and belly. Dramatic sigh. Start to find a little movement, maybe fingers, toes. Could windshield wiper the knees or roll out the wrists. And then when you're ready, take a big stretch. Legs forward, arms overhead. Arch your back a little bit and hug your knees into your chest. Start to draw some circles with the knees. You can either keep the knees together or circle the knees away from each other. Any areas that feel a little sticky, tight, tense, rusty, whatever. Try to pause there, breathe into it. Notice that space. Tightness is calling for your attention, so be aware of it. And then go the opposite direction with your circles. Next time knees are into the chest, pause, squeeze, arms out wide, palms down. Take both knees over to the left, gaze right. If arms long doesn't work with your space, you could always take cactus arms. If you want to make this passive, just relax your legs, soften the inner thighs, the feet. To find a little more activity, squeeze the inner thighs together like you're zipping up, like the legs are zipping up together. 3. Right shoulder really heavy. 2. And 1. Slowly knees back through center. Adjust your hips a bit, and then take both knees right, gaze left. Same thing, as active or as passive as you'd like. Maybe getting a little spinal adjustment. Probably heard mine, that was quite loud. As long as it's not painful, I always really like those adjustments. It feels like you're waking your body up, getting the energy moving. And then bring your knees back through center. Catch behind your hamstrings. Start to add a little rock up and down the length of your spine. We'll do this maybe 4, 5, 6 times. Make it feel good. And then when you're ready, after your last one, find your way to a tabletop. You'll cross your ankles, send your knees back. Take your time. There's never any rush getting anywhere on your mat. It's cliche, but it's more about the journey than the destination. It's true. Once you get there, cat-cow. Inhale, drop your belly, look up. Exhale, chin to chest, round your back. And again, deeper breath in. More complete breath out. Continue here, back and forth, cat-cow. Linking your movement with your breath, not vice versa. Allow the breath to lead. If you'd like to add anything in here, hip circles, figure eights, roll out the neck and shoulders. Find any organic, free-form movement that feels good. Great place to close the eyes, let go of any distractions or expectations. Your movement doesn't need to look a certain way. It's a feeling practice. Two more breaths. And when you're ready, tabletop position. Send your right leg out to the right, toes point forward. Plant your right hand firmly into the mat. On your inhale, reach your left arm up. Exhale, thread your left arm through, palm face up, left shoulder all the way down, right arm walk it forward. Bump your hips a little bit to the right, press the outside edge of your right foot down. Stay here, half wrap your right arm behind your back. Allow the pressure of the mat to soften your left shoulder, relax your neck. Focus on the exhales to twist. One more breath. Then walk your right hand back by your face, press. Inhale, left arm, reach it up to the sky. Exhale, left hand down 3 times. Sink your seat back towards your left heel and bring it forward. Send it back and forward. Last time back. Hips up, arms up on that one. Squeeze your glutes, press your hips forward. Bring your hands behind your head. Take an inhale. On your exhale, crunch to the right. Think right elbow towards your right heel. Squeeze your right oblique. Broaden your chest. Back up through center, left hand outside left knee, modified side plank. Extend your right arm overhead. If you don't have the space, hand behind your head. Stay here or lift your right leg up, flex your foot. You'll feel this in your outer hip, your glute. Stay here or bend your right knee, reach back for the outside of your foot. Now if you've got that, try not to lift the knee up higher. You're keeping the knee in line with the hip. Kick into your hands, maybe gaze up for 3. This is great prep for full moon. 2. 1, release the foot if you've got it. Bring your right foot down to the mat. Walk both hands back to the top. Shoulders over wrists. Send your right leg back behind you, flex your foot. Feel stable and then reach your left arm forward. Take an inhale. Exhale, draw your elbow into your knee, round your back a lot, squeeze. Inhale, right leg back, left arm forward. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, reach. Last one, squeeze, elbow to knee. Right leg back, left arm forward, and then bend your right knee, stamp your heel towards the ceiling. Reach your left arm back. Now you don't need to catch your foot, but if you are gonna grab your foot, kick a little bit to the right. Sternum forward, right shoulder comes back. Now this is great prep for full moon. 3, revolved, full moon. 2, gently release the foot if you've got it. Right knee, left hand down to the mat. Awesome, let's do that on the other side. Left leg out to the left, toes point forward. Plant your left hand down firmly. Inhale, reach your right arm up and look up. Might feel a little funky, and then thread the right arm through, palm up. Right ear, shoulder down, left hand walks forward or half wrap. Hips go a little to the left. Top of the right ankle, press it down. Few breaths into the right shoulder. Focus on the exhale. Start to walk your left hand back beside your face. Press. Inhale, reach your right arm up. And bring your right hand down. 3 times. Seat back towards your right heel. And forward. Send it back. And forward. Last time back. Arms up. Hips forward. Squeeze your glutes. Hands behind your head. Take an inhale. Exhale, crunch to the left. Chest open, left oblique engaged. Back up through center, right hand outside right knee, modified side plank. If you don't have the space to extend your arm, keep the hand behind your head. Lots of extension. Stay here, lift the left leg if you did on side 1. Maybe bend the knee, catch the foot. Strong right shoulder. Keep pressing your hips forward. 3, 2. Gently release the foot if you've got it. Bring it down. Both hands go to the top. Left leg back behind you. Feel stable first. Inhale, and then send your right arm forward. Exhale, draw your elbow into your knee. Inhale, left leg back, right arm forward. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, reach. Last time, crunch. Inhale, reach. Bend left knee. Reach your right arm back. Catch the foot or don't. If you've got it though, you're kicking a little to the left. Top of the right ankle, press down. Strong left arm. 3. Gaze forward. 2. Slow and controlled release. 1. Right hand down, left knee to the mat. Tabletop to puppy pose. Hands forward, forehead down. Hips stay high. Maybe you grab the top of your mat. That's my favorite. Otherwise, you could always bring the chin to the mat. Flip the tailbone up to the sky, a little bit like cow pose. So you're arching your lower back, getting a stretch through your abdomen. Think of lifting up from the outer hips. The inner shoulders pull back down your spine. Slide forward onto your belly, Sphinx. Shoulders over elbows, forearms down, squeeze your thighs, feel your kneecaps lift. Plug the shoulders back, gentle tuck of your chin. Tuck your toes, forearm plank, lift your hips up. Squeeze your core, scoop your tailbone towards your heels. Steady breath. 3. 2. Slowly lower your hips down. 1. Slide your hands back under your shoulders. Bring your feet wider, about mat's distance. Roll up to kind of a lazy cobra pose. You can rock your hips a little bit side to side, gaze right and left. Find a little movement that feels good. And then take about 3 to 5 breaths to make your way to down dog. If you want to go through child's pose or tabletop, feel free. Take your time to get to your first down dog, and then once you do get there, you can find some movement there. Pedal the legs, shake the head. Start to wake up the back side of the body. Anywhere that feels tight or tense, breathe into it. Body's asking for attention. Find some stillness, spread the fingers out. Pointer fingers forward, other 3 fingers a little out to the sides. Press the inner palm down, lift your right leg up, bend your knee, stack your hips. You can kick your heel towards your butt or move the leg around, circles. If it helps, right hand could grab the outside edge of the mat, thumb on top. And then right foot comes down, meets the left leg up. Maybe left hand grabs the outside of the mat, same thing. Move the left leg around in a way that feels good, might be same or different from the other side. Try to drive the right heel in the direction of the mat. and then left foot comes down. Bring your feet out wider, mat's distance, thumbs to touch. Thumbs touching, feet wide. Take as many steps as you need for your right foot to get outside your right pinky finger, lizard pose. Right knee hugs towards right shoulder. You can add a little rock, a bend and straighten, a bounce, or even a little twist, maybe reaching the right arm up and bringing it back down. Kind of any movement here that feels good. Wake up your hips. Giving you a chance to listen to your body move intuitively. And then we'll step the left foot outside the left pinky finger. Wide stance, top of the mat. Bind your hands behind your back and fold. Bend the knees a lot. Try to rest your belly on your thighs. Relax your head completely. No tension in the jaw, the cervical spine. Start to squeeze your inner thighs. Feel your belly button lift up towards your tailbone, tailbone towards the sky. Opposite thumb on top. Really focus on those exhales. Use your bind to draw you all the way up to stand into a gentle back bend. Knuckles work down away from you, sternum up. Inhale, both arms up overhead. Bring your hands behind your head. Take an inhale. Exhale, crunch to the right. Think right armpit towards right hip. Squeeze your thigh muscles. Inhale, center, and then twist to the right. Now you want to keep your right hip pointing forward, so it's harder than it looks. Your right hip wants to open up to the back. Inhale back through center, and then exhale, crunch to the left. Hips go right, squeeze your left oblique. Inhale, center, twist to the left. Keep your hips square to the front. Harder than it looks. You'll feel your intercostal muscles, your oblique muscles activate. Back through center. Cactus your arms, lean back. Inhale, reach up, look up. Exhale, take it down and fold. Breath in, halfway lift. Shoulders pull back down your spine. Hands to the mat, step just your right foot back so you're in lizard pose on the other side. And then find some movement there. Bend, straighten, bounce the hips. A little dynamic twisting if that feels good. Then we'll step the left foot back to meet the right. High plank, adjust your hands if you need. High plank, inhale, shift your weight forward. Knees up or down, lower halfway, and we're gonna hold. I'm dropping my knees so I can hug the arms into the body, activate the triceps, 3. Long spine, 2. Press back up, high plank, and downward facing dog. Hips to the sky. Take a big breath in through your nose. Open your mouth, audible sigh. Firm your thighs back, squeeze. Drive your heels in the direction of the mat. They don't need to touch. Bend the knees a bit if you need. Find some length through your arms. Inhale, lift your heels, bend your knees, look forward. Step with your right foot, then your left foot to the top of your mat. Big toes touch. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Press into your feet, rise all the way up. Arms overhead, look up. Follow your fingertips to your heart center and down by your side. Sun salutation A. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees if you need. Finish your breath, halfway lift. Exhale, palms down, step back, right foot, left foot, chaturanga, knees up or down. Finish your breath, and then inhale, up dog or cobra. We'll meet back in downward facing dog. Inverted V shape, outer hips lifting. Press your belly towards your thighs. Head relax, soften your jaw. Focus on those exhales. Inhale, lift your heels, bend your knees, look forward, step with your left foot, then your right foot to the top. Inhale, head up, exhale, fold. All the way to stand, both arms up, hands, heart, and to your side. Inhale, arms up, maybe lean back a bit. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Palm the mat. Left foot, right foot, step back, chaturanga. Up dog. And downward facing dog finishes your flow. Gaze between your feet or up towards your belly button. Spread the fingers out. Press the earth away. Shoulders out from ears, more space between the shoulder blades, a little lift through the back of the heart. Use your breath as your anchor. Inhale, heels up, bend your knees, look forward, step or jump. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees, chair pose, reach both arms up. Weight to heels. Feet together doesn't feel good. Take feet hips distance. Sit a little bit lower. On your inhale, look up at your hands. Maybe press the palms together, makes it harder. Right arm back, left arm forward, twist. Same thing in that standing twist. Your right hip wants to go back. Try to drive it forward. Inhale, both arms up. Left arm back, right arm forward. Imagine your knees, your thighs are glued together. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Knees out wide, Malasana. Walk your hands forward. If Malasana with the feet together does not feel good, take a yogi squat. Otherwise, big toes try to get together, heels try to get together, and then you want to get your heels towards the mat. Hands are walking forward, or walk your hands back, palms face up, like you're going to take a seat back in your heels. Hug your knees towards your armpits, your outer shoulders, so the inner thighs are engaged. Drop your chin to your chest, round your back. Think of scooping the tailbone down towards the mat. 3. 2. Exit of your choice. Now, if you'd like Bakasana, crow pose, you're pretty set up for it. You can spread the fingers out, drive your knees towards your armpits. Make a shelf with your elbows, lean forward. Lift one or both feet at a time. You got to squeeze your inner thighs, your core a lot. Grip the mat with the fingertips. And then when you're ready, step, jump your feet back, Vinyasa, or take some push-ups. Hold a plank. We'll meet in a downward facing dog. Take an inhale, breath, prepare. Exhale, step your right foot up to your right thumb. Spin your left heel down, rise up, warrior one. Both arms up, right hip back, left hip forward. Inhale, look up, maybe press the palms together. Feel a bigger stretch through your waist. And then sweep your arms back and hover your chest. From your triceps, look at your right big toe, gentle tuck of your chin. Bring both hands to your heart center. Left knee to your right calf. Stay nice and low, Shiva squat. Most of the weight's going to be in your right heel. Look down. Right hand down to the mat or a block, half moon. Open yourself up to the left. Left hand can start at the hip. Gaze down easier, gaze up harder. Flex your left foot. Imagine you're stuck in between two panes of glass. Knit the ribs in. Put a big bend in your right knee. Step it back, warrior two. Adjust your feet if you need. Heel to arch alignment. Hands reach opposite directions. Flip your right palm, inhale, reverse warrior. Big stretch right side. Don't compromise, keep the bend in your right knee. Side angle, start with your elbow on your thigh, left arm up. And then maybe left arm extended. If that's going well, you can bring right hand to block, right hand to mat. Try to lean back over the right thigh. If your right toes grip the mat, bring more weight back to your heel for 3. Keep squeezing your left thigh, 2. 1, to the back of your mat, flying monkey. Big bend in your left knee. Sink your hips. Flex your right toes up. Hands can be heart center. You could walk your hands forward. Fly the arms. 3. 2. Pivot to the back of your mat. 1, runner's lunge, framing your left foot. Right hand down, left arm to the sky, twist. Squeeze your right leg, press the back of the right knee up. You're gonna roll onto the outside edge of your right foot and step back to side plank. If you'd like to come down to the right forearm, go for it. Imagine your right palm is pressing forward and down towards the back of your mat. Gaze down easier, gaze up harder. 3. Squeeze your right oblique. 2. 1, left hand down, chaturanga, knees up or down. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog, hips to the sky. Take an inhale breath, prepare. Exhale, step your left foot to your left thumb. Spin your right heel down, rise up, warrior 1, both arms up. Drive your right hip forward, tug your left hip back. On your inhale, look up at your hands, maybe palms pressed together. Exhale, sweep your arms back, hover your chest. Looking down at your left big toe. Bring both hands to your heart. Stay nice and low, drive your right knee to your left calf, Shiva squat. Hug your right heel towards your seat. And then left hand down, right arm to the sky, half moon. Flex your right foot. Knit your ribs in. Choose one unmoving spot, focus your gaze. 3. 2. Big step back, warrior 2. Left heel, right arch, shoulders over hips. Tailbone dropping down. Flip your left palm, inhale, reverse. Exhale, side angle. Elbow thigh to start, right arm up, maybe right arm extended. Outside edge of the right foot's pressing down so you can feel a lot of length. And then only then, maybe hand to mat or block. Lean a little back over your left thigh. Don't dump your chest forward, try to spiral up. 3. 2. To the front, big bend in your right knee. Flying monkey, Chandrasana. Widen the stance a bit if you need. Drive your right heel into the mat. Same arm placement you took on side 1. Stay active, left toes flex. And spin to the front of your mat, runner's lunge. Square yourself, bring your left hand down, and then reach your right arm up to the sky, twist. Squeeze left leg really strong. Start to roll to the outside edge of your left foot. Take a step back, side plank. Hips up, squeeze inner thighs. Gaze down easier, gaze up harder for 3. Bring your right hip a little forward so the hips are actually stacked. 2. 1, palm the mat, take it through, Vinyasa. To downward facing dog. All right, take an inhale breath, prepare. Exhale, step your right foot up to your right thumb. Spin your left heel down, warrior 1. We'll move one breath, one movement through the part we've done and then add some stuff on. Exhale, sweep your arms back. Hands heart, shift forward, Shiva squat. Half moon, right hand down, left arm to the sky. Big step back, land in your warrior two, adjust your feet if you need. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, side angle. To the back of your mat, flying monkey. Let's go ahead, frame the left foot, right hand down, left arm to the sky, twist. Roll to the outside edge of your right foot, send your left leg back. Maybe you're floating your foot. Maybe you step your left foot behind you for wild thing. Hold here, breathe, 5. Right shoulder over wrist, 4. 3, 2, 1. Vinyasa, take it through. Inhale, breath, prepare. Exhale, step your left foot to your left thumb. Spin your right heel down, rise up, warrior one. Exhale, arms back. Hands heart, bring it forward, Shiva squat, stay low. Inhale, open up, half moon. Big step back, warrior two. Flip your palm and reverse. Side angle. To the front, flying monkey. And to the front of your mat, runner's lunge. Right arm up. Going to side plank on the left or wild thing. Maybe right leg is floating in side plank and then you step it behind. Left shoulder over left wrist, hips to the sky for 5. 4, 3, 2, 1. Right hand down, take it through Vinyasa. All right, nice work, you guys. Got one more standing sequence. Something a little different. Inhale, lift your right leg up and back. Exhale, take a step to your right thumb. Widen your stance a bit and reach both arms up, crescent warrior. Bigger bend in the right knee than you'd like to. Take an inhale. Exhale, twist to the right. Right arm back, left arm forward. If you need, right hand can come to the lower back. Squeeze your left glute. Right hand to your right hip. Curl your left arm up and back. Try to square the shoulders forward. Take a big inhale. Exhale, both hands to the front of the mat. Send your left leg up behind you. Standing splits. Forehead towards your right shin. Crown of the head towards the mat. Step your left foot behind your right so your ankles are crossed and walk your hands over to the right. Drop your head. Walk your hands back through center. Take a big step back with your left foot. Spin your heel down, and we're going reverse triangle. Right arm up to the sky, like you're high-fiving the wall behind you. Through center for triangle pose. Right hand towards your shin, foot, mat, or block. Left arm up. And make sure you're not jumping forward or leaning back too much. Again, in between two imaginary panes of glass. Maybe top arm extended for 3. Squeeze your right oblique 2. Left hand, left hip. Come forward, half or full moon. We've been doing half moon a lot, so maybe you work to perfect it or float your right fingers off the mat. If you'd like full moon, you'll bend your left knee, reach your left hand back for the outside of your foot like we did in that modified side plank. You're gonna kick into your hands. Gaze down is easier, gaze up is harder. The knee wants to lift up super high, but try to keep it in line with the hip. 3, 2, 1. Gentle release. Both hands to the mat as you step your left foot back. We're going to take a pyramid pose. You can lift your right heel up for a moment and then bring it back down to get some relief. Pyramid pose. Left toes out 45 degrees. Fold over your right leg. Drag your heels towards each other. Round your back a little bit. Left hip forward, right hip back. And then let's go for that twist. Left hand down, right arm to the sky. Block is great here. Right hand can also come to the tailbone. Hips a little to the left. Left hand goes forward as the left leg lifts up behind you. Revolve, half moon. This is a great place for a block if you've got one. Stay here or bend your left knee. Maybe the right hand reaches back for the inside edge of the foot. Revolve, full moon. Now this is like that tiger pose we did in the beginning on all fours, but much harder. Gaze down, 3. 2. Gentle release if you've got the foot. Take a big step back with your left foot. Drop your left knee to the mat, and then wiggle that right foot all the way to the outside edge of the mat for crooked monkey. Right toes out, 45 degrees, hand to thigh, press. Hips melting forward, maybe right hand, left foot. Whew. Release the back foot if you've got it. Inchworm your right foot to the left side of your mat for pigeon pose. Left leg long behind you. Come down, forearms, palms, whatever you need. Maybe bolster under right hip, block. Shoulders away from ears, soften your jaw. Find the stillness. A few more breaths. Slowly start to walk your hands back under your shoulders. Roll onto your right hip. You'll swing your left leg around so the bottom of the left foot is planted outside the right knee. If this is too much, extend your right leg forward. Twist to the left. Hook your elbow outside of your knee, left hand behind you, palm or fingers. Gaze over your left shoulder. Try to get the left sitting bone down and press through the ball of the left foot. 3. 2. Keep your legs, unwind your torso, counter stretch to the right. Plant both hands, dip your chest a little bit like a push-up, and then keep going to the right. Might not make sense, but you'll meet in a tabletop facing the back of your mat. And then once you get there, toes tuck, downward facing dog. No vinyasa, you're welcome. Downward facing dog, face the back of your mat. And boom, let's do it all on the left side. Inhale, left leg up, keep hips square. Exhale, take a step to your left thumb. Wide stance, both arms up. Crescent warrior. Big bend in the left knee. Right leg active. Take an inhale. Exhale, twist left. Chest open, collarbones broaden. Left hand, left hip. Reach your right arm up and back. Little back bend, spine towards your heart. Square the shoulders. Next, exhale, both hands to the mat, standing split. Right leg up as high as you can, fold. Focus on that exhale. And then step your right foot behind your left, cross your ankles. Walk your hands to the left, bend the knees a bit if you need. Find a lot of length through that right side, from the right hip all the way up through the right pinky finger. And then walk your hands back through center. Take a step back with your right foot and spin your heel down. Come up to a reverse triangle. High five whatever's behind you with the left palm. Find some length. Come through center for triangle pose. Left hand shin, foot, mat, block. Squeeze the left side of your body to lengthen the right side. Stack right hip out over left, maybe top arm extended. Press the ball of your left foot down, 3. Like you're in between 2 panes of glass, lean back a bit, 2. Right hand, right hip, half or full moon. Left fingers go forward, lift right leg up. Stay here in your half moon. Maybe work to float the fingers or shift your gaze up. Those two things can definitely make it a lot harder. Or bend your right knee, reach back for the outside of your foot. Full moon. Kicking into your hand. Gaze down is definitely easier. A great place for a block if you've got one. 3, 2. Release the foot if you've got it. Take a step back with your right foot. 3-ish to 4-ish foot stance, about a 1 meter stance. Pyramid pose, fold over your left leg. Drag your heels towards each other, squeeze the inner thighs. And then right hand down, mat or block, left arm to the sky. Revolve triangle. Now left hand can always come to the tailbone. Bump your hips a little to the right. Keep trying to press that right hip forward, left hip back. Right hand goes forward, right leg up behind you. Revolve half moon. Right foot flexed. Keep the twist of your torso to the left. Stay here, bend right knee, reach back for the inside of your foot. Great place for a block. Kick a little bit to the right. 3, 2. Gentle release. 1. Take a big step back with your right foot. Drop your knee. Wiggle your left foot to the outside of the mat. Toes point out. Hand to mat, hand to block, crooked monkey. Melt your hips forward. Little twist to the left. Catch the back foot if you did on side 1. Release the back foot if you've got it. Inchworm your left foot over to the right side for pigeon pose, side 2. Coming down, forearms. If you notice you're rolling onto the left side, walk your hands a little bit to the right. Try to even it out a bit. Where can you invite a little bit more softness, a little bit more stillness through your body? Use the heat you've created to your advantage. Feel those muscles give in. A few more breaths. Slowly start to walk your hands under your shoulders. Roll onto your left glute. Swing your right leg around so the bottom of the right foot plants at the outside of your left knee. If that's too much, left leg extended. Twist to the right. Left elbow, right knee. Try to get your right sitting bone on the mat. Ball of the right foot press down and look over your right shoulder. Keep your legs, unwind your torso, plant your hands off to the left, counter stretch, dip down. Don't keep going this time, just press back up. Extend your left leg, then your right leg, and lay down all the way. You're facing the back of your mat. Once you get onto your back, walk your heels close to your seat, arms by your side, palms down. Scoop the tailbone and lift your hips up, bridge pose. If you prefer upward bow, we're only going to do one back bend, so take whatever you're craving. If you'd like, you could put a block underneath your sacrum for supported bridge. 3, 2, 1. Slowly, hips come all the way down. Hug your knees into your chest. Send your legs up, waterfall, or supported shoulder stand with hands or a block. If you're going up to shoulder stand, it's still a pretty active pose. You're squeezing your legs. The feet want to come back and rest here. This is easier, but you really want to keep the feet stacked over the knees, over the hips. So you're squeezing your glutes, you're squeezing your lower abs. Maybe you stay here, or you could extend the legs overhead to plow. If you're going plow, you'd like to bind your hands, go for it. Big rounding. Maybe knees hug your temples, ear pressure pose. If you can get your shins all the way down to the mat, great. From wherever you are, slowly start to lower yourself down one vertebrae at a time. We'll plant the hands, land your seat on your fingertips. Forearms down, pick up your chest, and drop your head back. Extend your legs, point your toes, this fish pose. Spine towards your heart. You're looking back, jaw relaxed, head's hanging off the mat. Lion's breath, big inhale. Open mouth, tongue out. And again, big inhale. Lion's breath. Chin to chest. Bring the back of your head down. Remove your hands from underneath you. Walk the shoulder blades in a little. Sprawl the arms. Let the toes flop out. If there's any other pose you're craving here, anything else you need to close out your practice, please feel free. If and when you're ready, Shavasana, corpse pose. Final resting. Inner thighs relax. No contraction in your abdomen. Any tension in your chest, breathe it out on your exhale. Soften your jaw, eyelids heavy. If you have a few extra moments to stay and rest, I please encourage you to do so. Then when you're ready, start to wiggle your fingers and your toes, bringing some gentle awareness back to your physical body. And when you're ready, taking that big stretch, arms overhead, toes point. Hug both knees into your chest, give yourself a squeeze. And roll to one side, fetal pose. Bicep can be a pillow. When you're ready, make your way up to a comfortable seat. Eyes closed or soft downward gaze, long spine. Notice the space and the awareness you've created in your body. Maybe make it an intention or a goal to take that off of your mat with you. Let's draw both hands to heart center and take a big breath in. Exhale. Bow your head towards your heart. Om Shanti, Om Peace. Thank you for sharing your energy and for practicing with me. Namaste. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you liked this flow, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. You know the drill. If you're interested in learning more about crow pose, other inversions and arm balances, I have a 1-week online workshop, and I'll put the link in the description of this video. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day wherever you are. See you next time.